Okay, tonight we're making some Persian food. We're making Persian lentil rice. First step, cook the lentils. It's 1 to 2 ratio, so 1 cup of lentils to 2 cups rice. And so lentils sometimes come with some, for lack of a better word, schmutz in them. There's like bits of the skin, and then also just some like sand or dirt that is from the field where they grew. So I rinse mine about 3 times, and just like the stuff that floats to the top is the stuff that I pour off. So I'm just bringing these to a simmer. That's about 3 cups of water in there, and that was a ½ teaspoon salt. And we're just going to ½ tablespoon, and we're just going to bring these to a simmer until they're nice and soft. One of the best parts of lentil rice is the raisins. It adds like a sweetness to the savory dish, and it's pretty nice. Labor of love. You kind of have to separate all of the raisins and make sure there's no stems on them. It's the same amount as lentils, so 2 cups raisins, 2 cups lentils, 4 cups rice in this recipe. So there's a little bit of stem I wanted to show you, so I'm just going to take off this little stem bit here, which is hard to do because I'm holding the camera with one hand. Still counting out those raisins. Yep, still here. Still making sure these little raisins aren't getting stuck together like that. Gotta pull those apart. So now, just added all those raisins to some oil. I like olive. You might use canola, or you might even use butter. And we're just gonna saute them medium heat just until they swell up a little bit. We're not trying to like overcook these or they'll get bitter. That's another stem. Just gonna pull that guy off. So this is what we're looking for. You see some of them started to brown a little bit. They get really nice and fattened up, and then they settle down again after a little while. So we're just going to set those aside for a minute. Okay, main event. Long grain basmati rice. This is what we eat in Iran. Interestingly, not grown in Iran. Basmati is from India. But we're going to do 4 of these. You can see how long the grains are. Again, rice gets rinsed 3 or 4 times. Same reason, like the lentils. You can get some schmutz in there. Give it a little stir. And then just pour it off. So 4 cups rice, 4½ cups water. So it's like a cup to a cup, but then with a little bit extra. So I guess you could say a cup and 1/8 of what? So 4 cups rice, 4½ cups water. The ratio is like 1 to 1/8 rice to water, or just 1 cup to 1 cup, but with a little bit extra water at the end. And then this is 1 tablespoon of salt, and then I'm also going to add 4 tablespoons of oil. So that's the whole mixture there, and we're gonna put it on high heat and then wait for it to come to a boil and then turn it down to low and let it simmer. It's gonna take maybe a little bit less than an hour, and we're just gonna watch to see when all the water is gone, and we want the rice to be kind of soft. And I think I said this serves 4 people. It actually serves 6 to 8. My mistake, so we can have a party. Okay, so that just took a half hour, and it's kind of like al dente. So I'm gonna drain the lentils. Try not to burn myself. Easy, easy. All right, I'm gonna put the can there, and there. So I'm gonna add the lentils in, just right on top. And then all of those raisins also with the oil, they're gonna go in there. So now, you have to stir this very gently because the rice is still kind of soft and it'll turn into mush if you're not careful. So we're gonna do 4 turns, north, south, east, west, the 4 winds, but we're gonna go real gentle, just bringing what's at the bottom up towards the top. The stuff on the bottom is not quite the same texture as this stuff on top. Okay, and then you just kind of try and even it out, but again, try and be super gentle here. Okay. This part is a controversial cooking technique. I'm actually going to put a paper towel right over this on the stove, and I'm going to cover it again, and that's going to lock in the moisture, and I'm going to let it just simmer there on super low heat for another 30 minutes or so. Next level, saffron. This little vial is more expensive than my life. A half teaspoon of this, it's finely ground into, this is a small drinking glass or like a port wine glass. So it's even less than half a teaspoon. This is like a little ice cream spoon, and you can see it's kind of just a pinch. And it smells amazing. The color is amazing. It's supposed to have all kinds of good properties. This is 1 tablespoon boiling water. Came out of the kettle there. And you can see it's already starting to kind of brew. Just going to give it a gentle swirl and then leave it covered for a little while to sort of steep. And this is going to be our garnish. I'll show you in a minute. So remember to keep a close eye on this. Make sure the paper towel is still kind of wet. It won't catch on fire as long as it's wet, but you don't want to leave this unattended. So half hour's gone by now, and still has, you know, not completely dry. That's fine. And we're going to take a look and see where we're at. It's looking pretty good. So we're going to give her a little mix again, real gentle. Try and break up some of these rice clumps. The cool thing about basmati is every grain kind of has its own little personality. It breaks apart into these great individual grains. So it's gonna be 2 tablespoons of this rice. I'm just gonna try and get some of the white stuff and put it into a bowl here. So there's one. And let's see if there's another one. Maybe. Yeah, 2. So remember the saffron? So I'm going to give it another little swirl. You can tell it's the good stuff, the Persian stuff, by the color. The cheap stuff doesn't give you that dark orange like that. So I'm just going to pour this right on top here. And then there's going to be a little saffron left. Don't want to waste that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the rice back in. And mix that up. And this should get pretty much completely absorbed. And you can add a little more rice if you need to. So that looks like enough there. And now we'll add the garnish rice on top. Add a little bit of color. See what I was doing now? It's all about presentation. You could do this on individual plates also if you want. And in Iran, we don't say bon appetit, we say Nusha Jan, which means may this feed your soul. And we also say salamati, which means peace. So, serving suggestion, little salad, and maybe some chicken on the side here. Doesn't get much better than that. Salamati, peace, Nusha Jan.